Afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all to the National Level Faculty Development Program on Outcome-Based Education, Teaching and Learning Capacity Building. Today is the third day of this Faculty Development Program, and today we are welcoming Dr. Anjali Dave, Assistant Professor, Wyoming College of Education. Dr. Anjali Dave holds master degree in forensic science and education, along with a doctorate in education. She currently serves as an assistant professor at Wyoming College of Education, the CBM University. She has successfully qualified NET JRF in education as well as NET in forensic science, reflecting her interdisciplinary academic competency. She has authored 4 books titled Gender, Schools and Society, Teaching of Science, Science Nexus, Bridging Theory and Practice, and Applications of Science in Daily Life. Under her supervision, 2 research scholars have been awarded the PhD degree, and she is presently guided 5 doctoral scholars with 8 years of teaching experience at both undergraduate and postgraduate level. Dr. Dave is simultaneously also currently contributing as a IQAC coordinator and PhD coordinator at the Faculty of Education, the CBM University. Today, ma'am is taking a topic, Innovative Teaching Methods, OBE, Active Learning Strategies in Online Classes, and MOOC. Welcome you, ma'am. Now, stage is yours. You can start your session. Anjali, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, please.
Thank you. Just 1 minute, I'll have to adjust. Fine. Good afternoon, all of you. Can you hear me?
Yes, your voice is audible clear. Thank you.
I'm extremely sorry for the technical glitch. Okay, before I start this session, I'd just like to ask you one simple question. How many of us we are using the same phone which we used at least 10 to 15 years back? Are we still using the same phone or anything? Okay. Yes. Since we are not using the same phone, also the phone is having certain apps which are continuously updating themselves, isn't it? So similarly, even for apps we are updating, for that we need to update ourselves also, because we need to use the developed. Yes, I'm unable to see the chat. It would be better if you could unmute yourself and answer, because I'm unable to see the chat. Okay, anyways, I'll continue. Since we are, continuously updating the apps also, why not we update our own skills as well as a teacher? We can't continue with the same teaching skills or even the same methodologies which we used 15 years back. We need to constantly upgrade ourselves. So that update button in the app is like, similarly for us, we have to just put on the update app for us also. We need to develop ourselves professionally, and that is the main purpose why I think we have gathered here today, and we'll be seeing professional and leadership development also, which is obviously aligned with NEP 2020. It would be better if you answer by unmuting yourselves. I would be asking just few questions in between. So right now, why do you think that we are discussing this topic right now? Why does professional development matter now?
For the quality education?
Yes, thank you. Yes, because we are teachers, that we should be able to update ourselves. The NEP 2020 has been mandated right now that we are supposed to be upgrading ourselves up till 2030. We are having certain educational institutions. They have to tell that, okay, these are the infrastructural facilities, these are the teachers, these are the areas wherein we have incorporated the multidisciplinary nature which you are expecting of us. So this is a mandatory portion right now, although we have been given time. So still we are in the transition stage, yet we need to develop ourselves in order to go from this stage to the other. We need to go to certain FDPs. We need to develop ourselves professionally so that we can change our curricula. We can change the frameworks. We can also in assessment methods also. But the ideas we'll get from certain programs which we are going to attend. So similarly, what we are expected that now we don't have to just teach. We are also involved in the administrative work as you know, as teachers, not only guides, but not only us, we are expected to quality education, even combine all the tasks together and do a very nice reporting. We are expected to prepare files. So all these expectations are expected of us. So better is that we upgrade ourselves through this professional. So professional development is not like any extra work, but rather it would be like it will help us to do our existing work in a much better way. We need to upgrade ourselves. Like, so in a given context, if we have certain ideas, like I used to have 1 year, I used to have only one exam, only one subject in which we that we are having multiple subjects, certain projects, we are having skills, we are having internship programs embedded in our curricula. It is a part of our curricula. So what we do, we want to handle these, juggle these tasks. So we are using certain digital platforms also, like Google Classroom. Right now we are on the Zoho app. Then we are using Diksha. Swayam is a very beautiful platform where we will even get equivalent credit scores. Like we can equivalize our 2 credit course. We can also have 4 credit course, and we can provide certain flexibility in the curricula that it's okay if you pursue the course through Swayam platform and then you generate that certificate to us, it will be equivalent to the offline class which you would be attending here. So these are the certain shifts which we have observed in the classroom also. As teachers, we have to continuously put that in our curricula also. And right now the universities are constantly imbibing those new rules. We are also learning certain, digital platforms. We are learning to use whiteboards. This is also part of our professional development. We are supporting the students, like not only just academically. They are coming to us with even emotional matters. We are handling those too. So if you look at the Indian context, we are juggling so many tasks all at one time. So we need to continuously develop ourselves. That's why at this moment we are saying that professional development is necessary. So NEP is not having that we have exposed or we have given certain pressure. They are not giving pressure, rather they are telling us that there are gaps in the education system which you need to fill. So now we'll see the next part, that is not only professional development, also the leadership development. You might say that we are not the leaders of our institution, but that doesn't matter. We are the leaders of our students. We are the leaders in our class. We can be leaders in the BOS meetings which we are attending at various platforms. We can be the leaders at various committee levels which we are the members. We may be the coordinators as well. So leadership just does not mean that you are a leader of any institution, rather of any committee, of any student leader groups you might be having in your institution. So we are talking about leadership development, not only for principals or deans or HODs. Every teacher, every faculty is a leader. at their own level, in the class, in the committees, as I told. Similarly, now, can you tell me that why leadership development also we are talking right now? Can somebody answer that?
पनीर डाल के मजे आ गए इसमें.
Okay, fine. It's okay. See, NEPs has shifted education from rote learning to holistic development of the students, to having more holistic report cards, to having skill-based learning. So in that context, if we don't transform ourselves in the leadership mode, then it cannot happen. It has to be taken in a holistic way, in a more comprehensive way. So we are leading the curriculum reforms. We are leading certain skill-based learning. We are having collaborative and inclusive environment at the institution. So these are the certain ways where we can lead, right? For example, let's say a department head is there. Earlier, they used to manage timetables. They are managing exams. But now under NEP 2020, that leader must also be a leader of the interdisciplinary course, which he or she has offered in that program. If that present moment, if the person is not going to lead the interdisciplinary course, then it will go in a haphazard way. We need to decide how many hours. We need to decide whether we are promoting research in that course. We need to see whether we are also imbibing technology in that course. Moreover, above all these, are our faculty more engaging in nature? Are they capable of just delivering that lecture? Are they capable of innovation? So looking at the teachers at a whole would be like a leadership development. We'll not see only the curricular part. We'll also be leading the group of teachers or your staff members which are there. Okay, so this dean or HOD is not only dealing with administrative part, it is dealing with academics. They are also dealing with courses. They are dealing with humans. So this leadership development is a comprehensive matter. We just cannot say that we are showing the courage to be a leader, to be standing out amongst all the others. No, it's a big, huge responsibility for them. So it's not just an administrative ability, rather also human ability to handle the humans also over here. So can you tell me that in your institution, what changes have you observed that would require that, okay, now we require certain stronger leaders like strong HODs or maybe deans? Do you think that they need to change their ways, or do you think that we need to have certain development programs for them also? All right. I'll talk about leadership development over here. See, when we are talking about leadership, it's not about that NEP has told us, that's why we are doing it. Okay, when we talk about professional development also, it's not that NEP has told that you have to do, that's why you're going to do it. It's not like that. We have to align the policy of NEP to the real classrooms also. It's not just about the mandatory portion. So what we'll do, if we look at the Indian context, rather, we'll say that NEP talks about holistic assessments. They are telling us how to actually assess the projects, how to do the presentations, and also the teamwork. So when we are going in the classroom, we can ask ourselves the one question that, is this policy useful, or do we really know how to apply it? When we are able to answer these questions, then only we'll be able to align this NEP policy for the professional development also. Only then it would be possible. If we talk about quality enhancement also, if we can think that a teacher is changing the teaching style, where when the students are not performing well in the class, so they are changing their method. They are teaching in a more innovative style. They are having blended learning classrooms. They are showing movies in the class and then asking questions and correlating them to the topic. So when the teacher changes their teaching style, that is the way in which even we can enhance the quality also. So we are improving the teaching, not just completing the syllabus in a hurry. So that is one part of the professional development also. Another one is according to the local style. Let's say I am a teacher in a much rural area. So I will have to imbibe certain methods which are more suitable to that local life. I only need to use that language which is understandable to them. I will use a mix of English and the local language. Then only I'll be able to grab the attention of the students, or the attention of my class. This is the way in which I can enhance the quality. It's not just I'm going to do more and more research and I'm going to publish more and more papers. That's not quality enhancement. When we are going to the class, that time also we have to continuously upgrade ourselves. We have to change our language. We have to change our style also. In this way, we can say we are going to enhance the quality for professional development. If we talk about
Ma'am, flipped classrooms can also be used to enhance the learning or teaching ability. Flipped
Yes.
classrooms teaching, flipped teaching.
Yes, it's true. We will already give yes, that's true. We'll give the reading material. We can give short clips. We can give certain YouTube videos which are suitable to their coursework. And then we will tell them, you watch it before the class. And then in the class, we are not teaching them. We will just discuss. This is how we can enhance the quality also. So quality teaching is not like how much we teach. It's not how much content I'm going to have. It's more about how much I understand my students well. It's about how much the students understand me also. So we are using examples from local life. In order to be more effective, we have to adjust to the local universities or local institutions in the environment. Still, then we'll go further on, and I say one more point is that future readiness. We never talk about this because we keep changing our teaching style. But what about the future readiness? Right? We should prepare teachers and students for tomorrow. So we can ask the students also when we go into the class that should you only exams or for life? You have me to teach only content. We can say in the Indian education, we are having learners that are having several problems along with the academics also. So we are not only preparing them that you prepare this academic course, we are also teaching them communication. The institution in which I'm working right now is such that it's in a rural, it's in a town, not a rural area. So we are having students from the area surrounding it within 100 kilometer radius. So what happens? The students, they are more adapted to the local language. They are more adapted to having teachers understand them, listen to them. But when they come to the college, and if we behave in a certain way, that no, I am a leader over here, I am a teacher, they won't respond very well. So after a few times of teaching, you will understand that what they're expecting of you. Our students, what they're expecting of us, you should teach us how to communicate in English. So we have to take our teaching like that. So this is just one example of my institution that we are not having those requisite communication skills, especially in the international language. So we are expecting that we should have a certain class where they can build their communication skills, where they can build their personality as well. So we are having at least 2 classes in the whole timetable where we teach them, and we are having a experienced faculty for that also. So this is how we can prepare our students for the future. It's not just about the class, passing the exam, getting good grades. It's not like that. So guiding students for careers is also one part. Earlier, we used to have the counseling sessions. Still, now we are having those career development sessions as well. Most of the institutions are doing it because the student come to the institute expecting that they would be getting placement opportunities. So we have changed ourselves gradually. Then if we talk about the students who are not having the placement opportunities in other institutions, so what about them? We are having many students like who have done MSc, they have gone to Cadila, they have gone to several pharmaceutical companies, but then again they have come back. They said, okay, although we were placed, yet we are not that satisfied. So this is one part, that they were not able to cope up with the industry. So this is also one area where we can manage, that we can have sessions that how you can develop yourselves emotionally also. Okay, so coming back to the professional development, we have seen, we'll go to the NEP's vision for leadership competencies. In this leadership competencies, we are talking about 4 competencies, that is resilience, respect, power, and social justice. So when we are saying that NEP is having the vision for all these 4, it's not just these 4. I have taken only the 4 of them so that we can focus more on that. This leadership competency framework we used to have in a BOS meetings, that the students would have certain courses wherein they would be developing leadership skills. Through those courses, we would be having certain practicals so that they can have a certain situation based, and then we can tell them that these are the challenges which we are giving to you. And when you go out after 2 years in the industry, are you able to face those challenges? Are you able to face them? So we are putting them into certain situations. These are certain practicals which we can do in a day-to-day classrooms also. A lecture or something, that why don't you be strong? Why can't you handle the changes? Not like that. Rather, we can put them in certain situations, and then we can tell them that why not you practice it now in the classroom. We can give certain examples from the Indian examples, like from despite rejection, he learned through self-discipline, persevere. He learned through inner strength. This is one example. Another one we can have like Buddha. He faced doubt. He faced hardship also, but before like all these hardships were there for him, when he went into reflection, he was able to do that. So these are the certain challenges which even we can take from the ancient text also. So quoting examples in our daily life, like certain examples of examples text, and then we can tell them, okay, now you can relate yourself. So resistance is not your say I am strong. No, you will be quietly continuing, even though somebody is not clapping for you. It's okay. You don't need to receive recognition. It's okay. You keep continuing your work and navigate those challenges and be determined in your work. So this is one way in which we can develop the resilience for the students. Now, if we talk about respect, respect is not just the wishes like good morning or good afternoon. Respect is that the leaders should be able to have that mindset that we are going to imbibe diversity, we are going to imbibe the handicapped children, the ADHD children, those who are having attention deficit disorder, the slowly learning students in a class, the slow learners which we call. We can have even the gifted students in our class, those who challenge us. It's difficult to have a gifted child in the class because they quickly get bored. It's very difficult for them to maintain attention in the class because they are quite gifted. They are having a much higher level than even the teachers. So honoring them, honoring the diversity in the class is more important when we are a leader in our class. We will foster that environment so that the student will feel comfortable in the class. We can, yes, again, we can give examples from the ancient texts like Ashok. After Kalinga, what happened? His power was transformed into compassion. This is one example. Then we can have Chanakya. So power, he had the power, but he wanted stability and welfare. So this is one example. Honoring and respect is much more important than showing power. Then we can say that respect is not when your authority will tell you something to do and you are doing it. No, it's actually what makes you feel safe and which makes you feel good at the same time. So it's not a small duty, it's quite a huge duty for a leader to make each and every student feel safe in the classroom, feel accepted in the classroom, and also honoring them. We are recognizing their abilities. This is how we foster the respect. Now, if we go to the power, power is not that how much authority you are having over the students or how much authority you are having over the staff members, but there's one film which I say in Spider-Man, they have said that with great power comes great responsibility. That is quite true. If you are having power, I think using it responsibly is very difficult task. So we are leveraging our influence for a positive thing, not for a negative thing. So if we use that power in a much better way, it will give light rather than burning the whole building down. It will give light. So this is the way in which we can talk about the positive change in our environment. Now, if we talk about social justice, we are having equality and equity for an opportunity for each and everyone. When we talk about social justice, that means one example in an Indian context would be Savitribai Phule. I'm sure everybody has heard of Savitribai Phule. There's even a whole university dedicated on her or to her name. So what she did, she championed the education for girls. She championed the marginalized groups. So this is the true leadership. Okay, it's not that I will be seeing whether I'm able to lead my own institution. No, she thought about the whole society. She thought about the whole social justice system which was prevalent in the society. So Savitribai Phule is one example which we can quote, which we can apply. The another movement would be the saint had a bhakti movement in the earlier times. Like what they did was they challenged the social inequality which was prevalent in the society. So through devotional way, although it was a devotion part, but they challenged it and then they tried to bring about reform through their devotional speeches. They had certain followers which could disseminate the information to the lower class, which they could disseminate through the villages as well. So this was the bhakti movement also. So these are several ways in which we can have the social justice in our society. This is the academic leadership part. If we see the academic leadership part, I have taken 4 points like curriculum redesign. When we are the leaders, like from the department heads or we are deans, or some of us can be program chairs also, leading certain programs like BA programs or BSc or maybe BCom programs. As the program chair, our major duty would be to redesign the curriculum. So we can play a pivotal role. How we can design the curriculum so that we include many disciplines. Like we can also have art education. We have imbibed right now peace education in our curriculum. We have imbibed the yoga education which we were not having, and we can imbibe even the latest one. If we are seeing the government is telling that you should imbibe the IKS courses as well. In the school level, they have made certain changes if you have gone through the textbook structure. But even in the higher education systems, IKS can be taken in the curriculum as well. So we can have flexible credit system also. Like for example, which I talked about the Swayam courses. We can give them chance that, okay, if you are pursuing Swayam, that's fine. You don't need to attend the offline classes. We can give equivalent courses. So this is the way in which the head can have redesigning of the curriculum in a better way. Just in a recent BOS meeting, we had that we should have integrated programs in our institution. So that was one suggestion given by the stakeholder. So what we have done, we have tried to imbibe certain courses which we can have integrated in our curriculum also. So this way we can have, for example, we can integrate BSc and BEd, the institutions which are running those programs. They can integrate BEd and MEd also, so that the students are having certain skills of BEd and MEd both, and when they come out after the 2 years in the industry, they can say that yes, we have imbibed the skills of bachelor's and master's, We have saved our time also. Instead of putting in 4 long years, we have done it in 2 years, but with the appropriate practical exposure. So our curriculum can include that. Another example would be faculty empowerment as well. If we talk about faculty empowerment, we can have professional growth through FDPs, through seminars, through mentoring programs. We can also, yes, right now, I'm saying that there are certain institutions who are giving academic career development leave, that is ACDL. This is one way in which we can empower the faculty also. By empowerment, because we are giving them leaves, that we are saying that, okay, now you don't have to take your casual leave in order to go to a certain seminar, in order to go to an international conference, in order to attend a long orientation course. So we can give certain empowerment, like we give them leaves. This is one way. Another way is that we can give, the institution is having many research projects, maybe in 2 to 3 years. They are giving research opportunities to the students that, okay, you can apply, the teachers can apply for those projects in the interdisciplinary nature, and then you can have those research based in the institution, and we will give you funds as well. So this is one way in which we can empower the faculty. It's not just increase of salary. Of course, that is also one part, but not just that, other ways also by which we can support the faculty in a research intensive university. Then the third part, which we talk about assessment innovation. Recently, the Gujarat government, in the month of June, they have announced that we will be implementing the holistic report cards. The concept was given by NEP 2020, it was given, but even after the 5 years, we are not able to implement. So in June, it was announced that we would be implementing them within 2 to 3 months. So I'm sure even the other states would be on the pathway to that. So the assessment or report cards would be such that it is not saying, okay, what are your marks in this subject, or how much you have scored, what is your CGPA, or what would be your SGPA. It is not just that. They are saying, okay, we'll see the whole holistic development. Are you even focusing on NCC? Are you a cadet somewhere? Okay, we would be having the points based on that also. We would be acknowledging you in that area. So this is the way in which we can impact our assessment also. If we talk about stakeholder engagement, it would be that we can have certain alumni. We can have alumni meets on maybe like regularly, like after 2 years, or even every year if you could have. We can take those alumni, we can call the industry people. We can have the students and faculty also in that meet. And then we will see that how much support we can have or we can provide to each other. Are we able to support each other? Because we are belonging to the same fraternity. We are from the same field. So we support each other in that way. So in this way, we can have those meetings and engage themselves. Okay, these are the key institutional practices which we can imbibe so that we can implement the NEP 2020. Implementing, I think, on the foremost part which we have already implemented is the 5+3+3+4 structure. We have been implementing that in this Gujarat government. We have implemented that. So what we are having, even we are having interdisciplinary curricula, we are having integrated courses, we are having in the one institution the BSc program. After 1 year they are giving the certificates, after 2 years they are even giving diploma, after 3 years they are giving degrees. So we have already imbibed the certain credit based courses. Minor degrees have been introduced very well. So this is how we can have academic flexibility. Then the next best practices can be like the student centric learning. We are already doing that. We have made, I think each and every faculty, we are using certain model based teaching. We are having projects. We are also using certain question based techniques, inquiry based techniques in order to engage the students in a class. We are also having group discussions. We are also having flipped classrooms, as one of the participants told us. So these are the various ways, I think, which all of us, we have imbibed in our teaching. Then faculty development. Right now, we are attending the FDP. That is one way. Obviously, we are through these FDPs, whatever the outcome is, we are trying to implement that in our classrooms. We are not just having continuous training, we are also implementing that. Next is the digital integration and infrastructure. That means we are simply digitally integrating ourselves like MOOCs. MOOCs have been developed by the teachers. Right now we are having the digitally based courses. We are having online education. You're also attending FDPs online in order to save and juggle your academic tasks and also be developed professionally. We are also having, one example is AICTE approved Idea Labs. We are using smart classrooms. Each and every class in our institution is a smart classroom, so that the students can maximally use that in their teaching learning process. In holistic assessment, as we told, each and every institution is having the semester system, continuous and comprehensive evaluation also. We are having CBA system. That means the assessment is being done not only on the theory part, but also internship. Certain skills, certain programs are there which we are evaluating based on their skills. The laboratory work, recently the project work, which we are having even as an optional. Simply we are saying that, okay, if you're not doing the dissertation, you can do the laboratory work as well. So this is also one way of innovative holistic assessment which we are imbibing. The next one is inclusivity and access. As we said, that inclusivity is supporting each and every student, whether they are of whatever background. They can be having the students of special needs, example, visual impaired, hearing impaired. They can be students who are not economically well off in the classroom environment, but yet we will be treating them as equals. We will not judge. We will provide a very safe and secure environment to each and every student so that they can develop themselves in a holistic way, not just supporting the gifted students, not just supporting the academically bright students also. Okay, then we are having industry and community engagement. Building strong link with the industry is very essential, because we are sending the students continuously for internships. We are sending them for projects. We are sending them for, we are having practice teaching also. So we are using their help in many ways. So we will in turn help them with the industry. So constant collaboration with the industry in today's world is quite essential. So now we'll talk about the next part. The best practices, another one which I have taken out is shared vision and leadership commitment. If we talk about shared vision, that means that NEP implementation works only when institutional leadership believes in it. You're not just circulating notices about it. So we are just believing in it. So what could be the best practices? As I have told, that we can clearly communicate, we can put certain documents that, okay, this is the way in which you can show it to the faculty, show it to the staff, show it to the students. Also, we can have certain committees. We are having regular meetings, right? In those meetings, we are focusing on the practice part. One example which I will tell you, that it's a college in which the principal personally attends the FDPs, encourages the faculty participation. This is one example. The leaders should be a part of the FDP, not just tell the teachers that, okay, you go and attend the FDP. Then another one is that leadership would support the experimentation in the class. Initially, it may be that we are not getting the desired outcomes. Initially, we are facing problem, yes, but in all those imperfections can make one last perfect outcome also. So when leaders are learning, when leaders are supporting, others will follow naturally. Then faculty capacity building, as I told, that faculty capacity building would be like regular FDPs on multidisciplinary teaching, holistic development. Senior teachers, they can mentor the younger faculty or the new faculty which they have joined. You can promote project-based learning in the classroom. You can have faculty learning digital tools. We can have internal workshops also. We can have mentoring programs also. So NEP is expecting new teaching, but obviously we require training. So it's like just you'll not be able to swim unless you have the required skills for it. So similarly, in order to get those swimming skills, we need to go into the FDPs. We need to go into certain training programs, which are capacity building programs. We'll talk about curriculum flexibility. In this, the best practices, I would be saying that elective courses, we are having across departments, we are having elective courses. Then we are having flexible credit systems. We are having choice-based options. Then we are having integration of IKS also. The science students can opt for philosophy, can opt for ethics also. The commerce students can opt for having data analytics. They can learn environmental studies also. So this is the way in which even multidisciplinary courses can be imbibed. Even IKS, as I told, we can have ancient examples in our classrooms. Okay, but I'll just ask a short question before continuing. Why should education be narrow when life is not? If you don't understand, you can ask me that why would we say that education is just a narrow part where we are teaching only the subjects? So, okay, this is one disadvantage which I can say of an online class. It's very hard to get response. Anyways, we'll move further. Student-centric teaching and assessment. It means that we are moving from exam-focused teaching to the learning-focused education. We are moving that. So we can use projects. We are using presentations, fieldwork, many journals. One of the example which we are doing is that students are assessed through community surveys. We are telling them to do case studies. We are telling them to go to the fields and understand the community. We are telling them to do qualitative studies. Their field experiences are more important than your textbook experiences. So this is one way in which we can focus on student-centric teaching. We can have group projects. Instead of having only written exams, we can evaluate them based on group projects. So if marks alone measured learning, then toppers would never struggle in real life. This is one way, isn't it? If the toppers are there and they are struggling in real life, that means we are not able to give them the certain training. We are not able to prepare them for life. This is our loophole in our education system. So marks alone are not necessary. Rather, the assessment should not only be based on the theory part. It should be how much you are able to go in the field, how much you are able to treat others, how much you are able to manage the challenges. We'll talk about inclusive and equitable practices. Okay, and NEP is emphasizing three things: access, equity, and inclusion. So the best practices would be, in order to have that inclusive environment, that we can mentor the slow learners. We are having certain methodology where we bifurcate the slow learners from the average learners. Then on the Saturdays, for 2 sessions, we can give them lessons. We can give them certain tasks so that they can upgrade themselves. We can have support systems like counseling. We can have emotional support systems. Fee flexibility also is one way. Scholarship is also one way, wherein they will have encouragement to pursue a course, although they are having problems economically also. We can support the first generation learners with bridge courses. Whenever the students are coming to us in the first year, so bridge courses are the one way in which we can say that, okay, you have come to our institution, we'll have ice breaking sessions, and through these ice breaking sessions, we will see that whether you are able to adapt to our environment. We'll give you more comfortable ways in which you can interact with us. You will learn that what is expected of you in this institution. We'll make them aware that what we are expecting in terms of attendance, in terms of their project work, in terms of their what we can say interaction with us. We can give them orientation courses, we can give them bridge courses, so that they are aware of our practices at the institution. They are aware of the working of this institution. So this is an ice-breaking session kind of. Then we can have one more thing, language support for students from rural background. We can bifurcate the students and have separate sessions so that the students can have reading, they can have reading, speaking, and writing. These three areas we can focus on. Certain days we can give them work, we can give them more exposure, and we are giving certain courses based on that also. Professional and competency development courses are also available. So we can guide them. If we are not giving them in the regular coursework, we can guide them, okay, over here you can go and pursue that. So inclusive institution will raise the standards. They will raise their support to the students, and hence we can have a more inclusive and acceptable environment in our class. The next one we are talking about industry and community engagement. In the industry and community engagement, education should be such that there is one loophole which we have seen in the newspapers. You must have read that there are many degree holders. There are many skilled people, as they say, but yet there are no jobs. And in the counterpart, also there are there are certain CEOs which are claiming that, yes, we are having jobs, we are having the vacancies, but we are unable to take these people in our jobs. Only for one reason, because they are having degrees, they are having mark sheets, everything, but they are not having the required skills which we want in our industry. They are not having certain knowledge. They are not having those exposure in the curricula. So this is a big loophole, this is a big gap which we can fill through the industry engagement. If our curriculum is not addressing those gaps, okay, that is fine. What we can do, we can call the industry people to our institutions, and then we can say them, why not have guest lectures? Why not tell them what is expected of you? Why not have certain internship? We can have summer internship also. Other than the regular internships, summer internships would equip them with the necessary skills which are required in the industries. Then we can have community-based projects also. For example, we are not just saying that you do projects and give a very big file. No, we don't want that. Why don't you help the underprivileged people? Why don't you help the poor? Why don't you distribute the food and sweets or whatever is capable, whatever you can have, you can distribute it to the poor and needy. So these are that they can develop themselves emotionally, not just academic part. So community-based projects where the community would be developing, would be in a way that they can say, yes, we are having the engagement from the institutions as well. Why not engage them in the fields? So active engagement from the internship or industries, active engagement from the community is also essential. Then we can have the last point is involvement of alumni. Recently, we have seen very good institutions in our nearby areas. We are having Parul University, we are having Charutar Education University, Charusat. What they are having, that alumni meets they are having regularly, and then they are having certain ways in which the alumni can contribute to the institution. So this is a very good idea that we can have these alumni contribute to the institution, and in turn we can give these alumni opportunities over here. We can have tie-ups with their industries, with the local industries like NGOs. We can have tie-ups with hospitals as well. We can have students working in local social problems. It can be a part of their curriculum. So we can have certain tie-ups so that the alumni, the students, they can contact each other and work in a more collaborative way. So if the education doesn't meet society, then the theory would be like without the direction also. The last one would be use of technology and digital platforms. These digital platforms, like we are using LMS, we are using Swayam, we are using Diksha and MOOCs. These are so many platforms which we are using already. We are having online mentoring. when the students are going to the industries, what we do, we are connecting with them in an online mode. We are asking them, what problems do you face? What is expected of you? What are the hours of working over there? And then we mentor them that how can you adapt yourself to that industry, adapt yourself during that internship program. So this is the way we can online mentor them using the technology, using the digital platforms. We can also have academic support groups. The alumni people also, we can involve them. We can form a group so that we can support each other in a technological environment. We need not necessarily meet in an offline mode. We need not necessarily meet every day in a face-to-face way. We can use technology, we can use certain digital platforms so that we can support each other through those support groups. Okay, I think I'll be asking question and I really hope that you would be able to answer that. Do you think that technology is replacing teachers? Can somebody answer that? Is technology going to replace us? What are your opinions on that? Can you unmute yourselves and answer? Okay. I'll be sharing one PDF file later on with the organizers, wherein it is said the best practices of NEP 2020 would be reflected. Okay, so the key implementation steps would be task force formation. That means we would be setting up internal committees so that we can oversee the phased adoption of NEP. That means the task force, it is not that we are forming some very big committees. No, we can have 2 to 3 members in the committee, and we can have them tell us that how we can have the NEP imbibed in our curricula, how we can take them in a regular classroom. That only those committees will brainstorm themselves and then they can tell us. Then we can have certain workshops for teachers, we can have for parents, for students, so that awareness building is there. We can have resource mobilization as well, such that resource mobilization in the sense that we are using the digital infrastructure, the online platforms in order to adopt learning methodologies. These are also some steps in which you can implement, that is forming the committees, upholding certain workshops, and also using the digital infrastructure. So in this way, we can say that the theory would meet practice and also the vision will become action. Okay, we'll talk about the leadership excellence, workforce leadership excellence. That means the 4 points which I thought main were that self-awareness. If we want to go to the excellent level, I think we should be aware about ourselves. We should have a deep personal insight, a good, very good communication skills, very good presentation skills, also the way in which we can build relationships with the other members. We can have collaborative partnerships also. Then we can have certain change movement. Like, let's say for an example, for change, we can have certain, even the people from the outside, that from interdisciplinary courses, they would come and sit in our classrooms. They would be interacting with us. They would be contributing to our classrooms. So this is the way in which the change management is there. They can tell us that how we can improve ourselves, we can improve the more teaching methodologies, we can build relationship with them, and we can also have certain interactions so that we can exchange our resources. Resource mobilization can be there. Okay, key leadership skills for the future. What it really means is that what is required of us for the future. First, if we talk about adaptive resilience, we'll say from of the example of Lord Ram. Suddenly he lost his kingdom, he lost the comfort, and yet continuing with dignity, with calm, with responsibility. The adapting nature of even Lord Ram during the Vanvas period is an example of adaptive resilience. We can say in the Pandavas during the exile that how they have changed their role. From a warrior, they have become two certain learners. So these are the ancient examples which we can think of. So these are the examples from the Indian text, which we can say that, okay, even these people have adapted the resilience, they have adapted to the nature, they have adapted to the conditions. So why not we adapt ourselves to for the future? So in the Indian text, it's not just about talking loudly or fighting, it's about endurance along with clarity also. Then we'll talk about the equity-centered decision making. In equity-centered decision making, it means that we will make choice intentionally. That means intentionally we will make choice so that each and every person will feel comfortable in our environment. We will have a very good inclusive environment in the class. Okay, one example could be that a teacher is managing online class during COVID without having a proper network. We can use WhatsApp voice notes. For example, right now, if I lose my internet connection, what can I do? I can have certain voice notes. I can have certain reading files for you, and I can share it with you. Okay, this is one way in which we can have the inclusive environment also. Another way in which we can say is that equality for all. That means if rule is applying for you, it is applying for all also. It's not just that there was a Buddha Sangh was there in which all the people from all castes, from all background, they could come and educate themselves. We are having, as I told you, Savitribai Phule, we are having a university where girls and from people from marginalized communities, they are engaging with us, and then they are making the education which is available for all. So these are the everyday examples which I can say that equity-centered decision making is there. Then we can have strategic visioning. Let's say, for example, equity. Okay, equity is also now that it will help students who need support, actually who need support. It's not that we are giving facilities, but they actually don't require support also from us. It's not like that. We'll move forward. Strategic visioning. Visioning in a way that we can see 10 years ahead, not just for today, tomorrow, 10 years ahead if we can think. So that is called strategic visioning. We can, the best example would be of Chanakya. So he didn't dream of a strong kingdom. He planned everything. He planned governance. Here they planned even the economy of that state. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, I'm sure we are aware about his book. He had a strong vision that till 2020, this is my vision. So it wasn't just one fantasy which he developed. It was a very good roadmap for the whole of India, for institutions, for the youth. It was a roadmap for all of us. So this is one very good strategic visioning example. We can have a college planning skill courses. We can have a teacher who is aligning the lesson plans with the learning outcomes for the future, not just for today, but for the future. So that is strategic visioning. Then we talk about collaborative communication. Okay, collaborative communication is so that we are listening to understand, not just to hear. Listening to understand them will help them to get rid of fear. If we are having communicative environment in which we are collaborating with them in a very good way, so they will get rid of fear. It will have a very good, healthy environment. There will be trust based on the institution, based on the stakeholders. Mutual trust is developed based on this. So we can have sabha, we can have dialogue, we can have certain communities so that they can communicate with each other. So this is way in which we can collaborate communication. Okay, next one. We'll talk about institutional integrating NEP principles into leadership development. The NEP provides so much blueprint that you're supposed to do so and so and so. But how we will be integrating that? so that there is leadership development. As we said, learner-centric institutional development should be there. Learner-centric approaches should be there. The approach in which we are not only focusing on the curriculum, we are not only focusing on the intellectual and emotional part, we are focusing even on the society, that after they graduate, is the society benefiting from them? Is there certain ethics which we are developing in the institution? So we are moving beyond curricula, we are moving beyond the subject matter so that they can develop as a whole personality. We'll see digital literacy and technology integration. That is, yes, we are having digital fluency. We have been using many platforms. We have been using many technological tools so that we are capable enough of disseminating that information to the students. We have been integrating the technology in our class also. Then interdisciplinary collaboration. That means we are collaborating with the other fields also. We are collaborating with many disciplines. We are collaborating with many sectors so that the problem which we are facing in our sector can be taken to or can be shared with other leaders also. If one leader is facing one problem and is being shared with other interdisciplinary courses or with other leaders, they can have a shared vision. They can think of something, a proper direction in which that problem could be solved. So sharing would be better so that you don't have to have that much struggle. Maybe one institution has already solved that problem, so we can use that strategy in our way also. Then the next one is continuous professional development. Okay, this one we are doing continuously. We are having professional growth. We are having a culture in which lifelong learning is taking place. We are having the leaders who are staying updated with the research trends according to the need. Right now, we are expected to publish in Scopus. We are expected to publish in Web of Science. So we have to update ourselves with the methodologies. We have to adopt. Okay, am I required to study meta-analysis? Do I have to do a systematic review? So these are the questions which we can ask ourselves, and then we can grow professionally. Am I supposed to upgrade my research skill? So these are the ways in which we can have reflective journey, and then we can publish. So now we'll implement the NEP aligned leadership development. It would be through competency based frameworks. That means when we are aligning the curriculum with the NEP leadership pillars, that would be leveraging the best out of that. We would be creating assessment tools so that we can track the progress of each and every child. LMS, the Moodle LMS is having such feature in which we are having the students progress report cards. We are having continuous growth of the student, which we can see on a regular basis. They can submit their assignments. They can even upload their assignments. They can even see what task we have given them. They can even access our notes. So continuously we can upgrade, we can track how much progress the student is having. There is one national summit on academics which has not been discussed, but it is of international level, like NEA National Leadership Summit. This summit was such that all the leaders, they were gathered together so that they can share their experiences. They can share the leadership innovative strategies which they are applying in their institution. They can build their skill by learning from each other. So they can build a very good network of the principals, of the deans, so that give and take relationship is contributed in a much better way. Then peer networks and mentorship, that means where one leader is learning from the other leader. They are learning from each other. They are celebrating the success of each other, but they are also helping each other in times of need. So it's not a competitive environment. Rather, they are developing a very good peer network. They're having very good mentorship programs for each and every leader. And last one is that we'll align the organization goals. That is, we will align the vision and mission. When our vision and mission will align with the NEP, when it will align with the SDG goals, that time we can say that yes, we would be able to implement the NEP in the near future. So we have to see, and we can modify also. Every 5 years, we can modify the departmental, or we can modify the institutional vision and mission as well. Institutional leadership is there, in which this, as we have already discussed, we are having stakeholder partnerships. We are also having quality assurance and infrastructure investment also. So we have already discussed that, so I'll not be going in detail in this. Only one example would be that we are having alignment with NEP goals. Then we are having quality teaching learning process. Then collaboration across departments and continuous improvement. These are the ways where we can have transformation in our institution. So the best practices in the institutional governance would be transparent decision making. Okay, transparent decision making would be such that any cadre student or any cadre faculty is there in our environment, we would not be saying that based on your background we would be discriminating you. The decisions which were applicable to one faculty, which were applicable to one student, would be for all. Okay, so let's say, for example, a person is coming with a problem in the institution. They would be solving that problem instantly without bias towards any faculty or any student. That is transparent decision making. The next one is academic autonomy. Let's say one department is having skill-based elective or interdisciplinary paper without waiting for years of approval. So this is one way which we can have academic autonomy. We can decide, we are having the freedom to have courses without waiting for the approval of any external agent, right? We can have faculty member design a project-based assessment. We can have a member who will design a course for us, and then we will pass it through our BOS. The BOS chair can pass that meeting, and then they can pass that particular course. So this is one way of academic autonomy. So faculty departments and faculty programs, they can have certain decisions so that instantly they can change their curriculum whenever required. Then data driven planning, that is, if the student results show weak performance in research methodology, let's say, then the institution will organize workshop and mentoring. They will organize some extra class so that the performance is improved. So based on the data, we are determining the next steps. Based on the existing raw data, we can have attendance data, we can have feedback analysis, marks, we can have NAC reports also, so that we can plan a reform also, so that rather than relying on assumption that so and so happened, we can rely on the raw data which is available. Then we are having flexible resource management. Let's say we are allocating budget to the digital tools, to the faculty training. So this is resource management in a flexible way. We can have temporary, we can have redistributing the faculty to different departments. We can just tell them that you can go to the another classes, and then you can teach them whatever is your domain area. You can equip them with the necessary skills. So this is resource management. One teacher can be helping the other departments also. Okay, building leadership capacity would be training programs, mentorship programs, and leadership forums as well. In this, as we have talked, when we are having orientation programs for the leaders, they can percolate that to the faculty. When we are having mentorship programs, they can percolate it to their mentors. They can percolate it to the deans and HODs. So regular platforms for knowledge sharing should be there, so that a collaborative learning environment is there in the institution. This is the professional development framework, where we are focusing on 4 points. That is faculty development, which we have said about workshops and other skills. Then there is leadership training. That means workshops and programs, again, they can have for leadership training. But one point which I want to point out is the student support. We can have students, very strong student support, so that the students can have counseling services. They can have career guidance programs, mentorship frameworks, and also life skills development. So this is the way in which we can have student support that will attract the students to our courses. The student support is the major foundation of the institution. Without student support, I don't think we can excel in other. Being a leader, having all the skills is not only necessary, the student should be with you. Then we can have, as I told, industry interface, where we are organizing guest lectures. आप guest को invite कर सकते हो. We can have internship coordination. We are having MOUs. MOUs में लिख ही देते हैं कि क्या expected है, एक दूसरे से आप क्या expect करते हो. फिर curriculum advisory roles. We are having the external members from industry advising us that what curriculum frameworks you should have. क्या आप change ला सकते हो अपने curriculum में. What partnerships can be done along with the other works. So this is the industry interface. Faculty development programs we have addressed in a great length, so we'll not be discussing that. Then overcoming the implementation challenges. They're having lot of resistance. As I have seen that faculty and staff may resist to the new approaches, but there is a solution. We can have certain, what we can say, awards. We can have recognition to those faculty who are adopting those changes. Right now, we are having recognition and even monetary support to the staff members who are having focused publications. So this is the way in which the change will be brought about. अगर हम faculty को monetary जब benefit देते हैं, तो they will definitely publish in Scopus. They will definitely think that yes, I should also be doing that. Then the next part is resource constraint. Let's say if you are having limited budget, so what we can do, we can avail the government schemes, we can partner with the industry, and then they can provide us financial help also. So with their financial help, we can obviously provide certain support to them also. Then capacity gaps are there. There is a one big challenge. So how we can fill this gap? By partnering with the institutions, we can tell them that why not have a professional development program over here so that the students benefit from us. So this is a key indicator how we can measure the success. So how much policy has been implemented is one way. How much stakeholder satisfaction, that means how much faculty is having feedback, what is the feedback faculty. Then how much administrators are they having good experiences. Then the next one is a key indicator is the faculty development participation. How much they are participating in programs, and the least which we are considering right now is 15% only of graduate employability increase. That is the least which we can see right now. So these are certain measures, qualitative as well as quantitative, so that we can see how much we are succeeding in the environment. So the path forward can be that we can start today, we can build collaborative networks, and obviously build sustainable environment, and then we can share this. After having a successful story, we can share our learning with others. So this is one path forward. In call to action, I have not lost hope. Still, I would be asking questions to you that could you answer that? What one change can you initiate in your department so that there is a more relatable, just and resilient future? What change do you think that we can have in our department? If we are having leaders as any leader as a participant, you can answer this. That can you see certain change in the near future which you would like to implement in your department? Okay, moving forward, educator excellence. In educator excellence, it means it's not happening by chance. It is happening that you have planned it, continuously you have developed it, and then you are aligning it with the institution goals. When you are aligning with the national goals. So this happens over time. So this is the way in which we can have educator excellence. So certain points, like we can say that continuous professional development, which we talked about, then the skill based and outcome oriented teaching which we have having. So instead of lectures, A teacher can include case studies, can include internships, can include project-based assessments, can have mentorship and academic leadership growth also. So a senior faculty member can guide the junior faculty member. So there can be educator excellence, not in a one day, but through time, where they are getting more and more support from their seniors. We can have integration of technology. We are having so many ways in which we can have, we can move from the primitive stage to the excellent stage. So one skill you can share later on, that what you have developed in the last year and how it has improved your teaching effectiveness. Any one skill which you have developed right now, or maybe in the last few years which you have developed, so that your teaching effectiveness has been improved. Okay, can you answer this question? What if your innovative idea is ignored in a staff meeting, but later praised when said by someone else? Is it possible for you to unmute yourself and answer? Okay, we'll move forward. So the reactions would be that one can be, if your idea was ignored, so you would be reacting in a very loud way. You would be having certain arguments you might have. So your emotion is not wrong, but the reaction was the real issue. So instead of having a very loud reaction, instead of having certain words, it would be better that if you could manage your emotions at that time and have a very good response, a very intelligent response at that time. So it shouldn't be like a threatening way. It shouldn't be that the leader or the faculty is facing problems of saying that you're having disrespect towards them. So better it would be, instead of staying or having a very loud reaction, be a very mature person, and we can have emotional reactions in a way that it is efficient. So emotional intelligence is the aspect which I'm talking about. So it's not about controlling emotions, it is choosing responses wisely. So emotional intelligence is not that how we are going to simply control them and put it in our brain. No, at that moment we will just respond in a very wise way. We will choose our responses and we will communicate them in a very wise way. So this is the emotional intelligence part, which is the heart of the effective teacher. Soft skills, if we say, how can you interact with the teachers and students so that they feel at home, so that they feel that yes, you are listening to them, there is a very positive environment in my class, there is a very positive attitude towards me. This is the soft skill. If you are able to maintain the students favorite, if you are able to be a favorite of the students and of all the faculty, then I will say that you are possessing those soft skills. आपके पास वो soft skills है. If you can be a mentor, being a teacher is very easy, but being a guru, that is the more difficult part. So when you move from being a teacher to a guru, that time I can say that yes, we have perfected the profession. This is one thing. What will you do if you receive critical feedback in front of others? So if you receive a critical feedback in front of others, we can have emotional intelligence part. As I told you, we can respond with a very wise way. We will pause, we will listen calmly, we will not react on the spot. What we can say that, okay, thank you for the feedback, I will reflect on it. Or we can say, maybe discuss this in detail after the meeting. So because we are having in front of others, so you might be very uncomfortable with that way. So we can say, why not we discuss it after the meeting? So what this would say, that yes, you are having very good emotional regulation, you are having very good communication skills, you're having a maturity and the leadership presence as well. So this is the way in which we can have very good communication skills as well. So active listening, expression in a very clear way that let's talk later, and a constructive dialogue. When we are talking, instead of shouting, better it's we are having a very constructive and a healthy discussion. This is the essential communication skills which we talk about. The next part, even the Prime Minister has been focusing on this, that how you can manage stress in a day-to-day life. He himself is telling that yoga can be very helpful. So as a teacher, when we are having to juggle so many tasks, we are having to look at so many fronts, we are battling many fronts. So what we can do, we can manage our stress. It's not that it's impossible. How we can manage that? These are the things that what we'll do first, we'll recognize that at what point we are having certain stress signals. Some people may have burnout, some people may develop migraine, some people may show it in their behavior. So recognize these signals. Then later on, we can develop the coping strategies, that certain techniques such as yoga, breathing exercise, mindfulness exercise can be there, so that coping strategies are developed. Then we will separate our work and life. As we can see, there are various memes where Gen Z is being criticized. But the positive part which we can see in those reels is that they are nicely separating work and life. So that is the positive aspect. When we are seeking support, that let's say, for example, we are unable to do everything, we are unable to do breathing exercise, or we are unable to do yoga, we can have counseling sessions, we can have sharing sessions, we can have even the people coming to us and have advice based on those experienced people. So these are various ways in which we can seek support from the experienced people. Then for time management, we can have, thank you. Okay, so time management we can have in certain solutions, that we'll have focused work planning. There is a Eisenhower matrix also in which we can prioritize the task. We can put all these similar activities together. We can have tools, we can take help of the tools so that we can manage our work very efficiently. Also, we are learning to say, gradually we are learning that how we can say no to certain tasks which do not require that much priority. So we can have certain strategies in which we can manage our time, and we can also have certain buffers in between tasks so that our productivity is increased to the most maximum way. So academic productivity can be increased by having clear goals, planning systematically, and monitoring the progress as well. So these are the practical strategies. Let's say we are assessing ourselves. Then we'll start with a small change. Start small with one change. That means, let's say, perhaps right now I'm starting with an exercise. Maybe next I can move forward to having a very elaborate timetable in which I will manage my task. I can have a very elaborate way in which I will be able to have a multidisciplinary courses, how much I will be able to develop. So start with a small course, then go on to a very huge course. Then we can have accountability systems such that, as I said, we can partner with a colleague, we can partner with leaders so that we are accountable. And last is reflecting. We can have reflective journals also, so that we'll note down what experiences we had, and then we can adjust regularly. How we will support professional learning communities, that is, we'll have peer coaching programs. Then we can have workshops and training as we discussed. Then we'll have reflective practice groups. In these groups, which I would like to say that what we'll do, the educators, they come together and then they share what challenges they have faced. And then they even share how they have tackled those challenges. And then they are learning from each other's experiences. So these are the reflective practice groups which we are having. Your path forward would be, as I said, we will have priority, what you want to do first. Then a goal which is achievable, not a very huge goal, which is not able to be achieved within 1 to 2 years. Then we'll see how much resource do we have. Do we have the faculty? Do we have that infrastructure? Then we'll have regular reflection time. And then last, we'll share it after we are having success story. Only after we are successful, we can share it with the colleagues. So institutional considerations would be like skill building workshops and all. After we are having all these workshops and training programs, we can consider having them in the other institutions as well. In our university, we are having about 14 institutions. So we are sharing the resources. We are sharing the competencies of each and every faculty. So there are two pillars of leadership growth. That is, how we can have the leadership growth is industry academia collaboration and conflict resolution and communication. As I said, when we build the gap between the research and the practice, when we call the industries and we tell them, why don't you communicate with our students, why don't you communicate with our faculty and see where we are lacking, what is the gap, what we are doing wrong that you are not taking our students, so we can build the bridge. Then we can have conflict resolutions, we can communicate so that there is a very productive dialogue in the academic settings. Conflict resolution, the benefits of that, I would say that workplace would be very healthy, morale would be increased, decision making would be faster and in a more wiser way. Wise decision making is much better than having faster decision making. Then student mediation and classroom management. That means along with the conflicts of the faculty, you also have to look for the classrooms. So building these relationships with the students, with the faculty, in turn will have a greater institution which is able to handle each and everything, have very effective learning experience. Then effective or essential communication skills would be active listening. I'm sure the arts faculty would know of this. Very clear expressions. As I said, instead of asking a very threatening question, it would be better if we stay in an email. The email tone would be a very kind tone we can have, a very kind way that kindly submit this. So that would be better than having a deadline which is saying that if you don't finish it, we'll face consequences. So this is the one way in which we can have a very clear expression. We don't have to threaten the faculty. Rather, we can have that, why don't you do this in the given deadline, so that everybody would benefit from it. The emotional intelligence, as I said, that when we are having the very loud reactions, it would affect the harmony of the environment of the institutions. So having intelligent answers, having intelligent conversations in an emotional way would be better. Why don't you recognize your emotions and nicely we can respond it without sounding too difficult to handle. We are having people who are saying this faculty is very difficult to handle, very difficult to deal with. So this is lack of emotional intelligence. So if we are able to handle, if the leader is saying, okay, this is an easygoing faculty, that means you are possessing very good emotional intelligence. We'll focus on the solution. This is a very famous dialogue which is constantly being used, that focus not on the problem but rather on the solution. So this is quite true. When we remove our focus from the problem and we think of that how we can resolve the problem, that would be better. Instead of just focusing on the problem that I have several, we'll think about the solutions and we'll work towards shared goals. So this is the conflict resolution process: identifying the issues, having a dialogue, creating a safe space. Then we can explore various options. We can have brainstorming sessions. It's very essential so that we can see, is it really feasible? Can I really do it? How much impact it will have? Is it aligned with the NAP goals? Does NAP and the SDG goals are very important? Is it aligning with that? And then after these, all the check boxes have been ticked by us, then we can agree and we can follow through that. The main part, I think we have discussed industry academy partnership, that we are having MOUs with the industries so that they can upskill us with their skills. We can use their labs, and in turn, they can take our students for the job opportunities. They can contribute to our curriculum. They can tell us what is expected in the curriculum, what skills are definitely required apart from just the theory. what skills would be required in after completing the 2-year or 3-year course. So building a very good partnership with industry would be beneficial. So we'll have, as I said, we can have a very good curriculum. Student would get internship and job placement. Also, we can share their equipment, we can share the data. And yes, definitely, which we have skipped is the research part. The research also, resource mobilization can be done in the research part also. That means if the faculty is getting funding opportunities from the industry, the institute would be able to use those funds in order to develop their own labs, in order to have funds for research publications, fund for book publications. So research impact would have been increased by the industry academia collaboration. So identifying the right partners is essential. If we look for a local industry which is struggling, it wouldn't be beneficial. So identifying the right industry is a key step. Then does our objectives match? Let's say, for example, I'm having MOU with a certain industry, but our objectives do not match at all. Then there would be no use. So MOU should be done with them who have a shared vision, who have a shared goal. Reciprocal value, that means even the industry should be able to benefit from us rather than only us benefiting from them. They should be having institutional support also, like we can have secure buy-in from administrators, faculty and staff. We can have formal structures like advisory board and partnership committees. In those committees, we are having industries. They are coming even for the interviews. They are coming to select the faculty members also. Then last one is communication. Regular communication is essential. If we have a gap that is of 1 or 2 years, then it might be possible that our collaboration is not that kind of successful. So regularly communicating with them is essential. We can see how we can benefit from each other. We can share the success. Then we'll put the skills into practice that by conflict resolution, by reaching the industries, by integrating our curriculum, and by reflecting and refining. These are the ways in which we can put the skills into practice. This is it for today.
I hope we all learn a lot from this session. And tomorrow we will meet again at 2 for the next session. And I'm sharing the feedback link. You just fill that link. That is mandatory for all.